We are the College of Occupational Therapists of Ontario. We're the regulatory organization that oversees occupational therapists in the province of Ontario. The college ensures that only OTs who have met certain requirements can practice. That includes OTs who were trained in Canada, as well as those who have graduated from an occupational therapy program outside of Canada. In Ontario, different colleges oversee 29 healthcare professions. For example, there is a College of Nurses and there is a College of Physiotherapists. Each college or regulator has similar responsibilities. The colleges were created by the Ontario government, and their authority comes from provincial legislation. In our case, that includes the Regulated Health Professions Act and the Occupational Therapy Act. Internationally educated OTs who want to practice here have to register with the College of Occupational Therapists of Ontario before starting work. Here's what you need to know. The college exists to serve and protect the public. We do it in three main ways. Setting the strict requirements to practice occupational therapy in Ontario. Establishing and enforcing the rules that every OT must follow. All of the standards, policies, guidelines, and continuous improvement programs. Holding Ontario OTs accountable for their conduct and practice, including investigating concerns and complaints. By law, only individuals registered with the college can work as an occupational therapist or call themselves an occupational therapist or OT. Here are the steps you need to follow to register with the college and practice occupational therapy in Ontario. Step 1. As an internationally educated professional, your first step is to have your education assessed by applying to the Substantial Equivalency Assessment System, or SEAS for short. SEAS will determine if your education is substantially equivalent to that of a Canadian educated OT. Learn how to have your education assessed on this website. At the end of the SEAS process, you will receive a report. There are 3 possible outcomes. 1. Your education is equivalent. 2. Your education isn't equivalent. If so, you can't write the exam at this time. 3. Your education is not equivalent, but would be with additional training. If your education is equivalent, you can move to Step 2, starting your application. To do so, you must complete an online application. The college website has a section dedicated to internationally educated applicants. Review that information and then complete the online application. After you submit the application, the college will email you to notify you to log in and check your progress online. Step 3 is submitting your documents that show you meet the registration requirements. Besides education, there are several. Evidence you're up to date in the knowledge, skills, and judgment you need, like recent graduation or practice. That's called currency. The college has refresher programs for people who have been out of practice. Language fluency in English or French. Professional liability insurance that meets our requirements. Legal eligibility to work as an OT in Canada, like proof of Canadian citizenship, a work permit, or permanent resident status. Suitability to practice, meaning that the college must be satisfied that you'll practice occupational therapy safely and ethically. You'll need to submit documents to show that you meet these requirements. Step 4 is taking the National Occupational Therapy Certification Examination. All applicants are required to pass the exam. CAOT holds this exam twice a year, once in July and once in November. You have a maximum of 3 attempts to pass the exam. Before you apply to write the exam, you need to complete your assessment through SEAS and apply to the college. When you apply to the college, request that the college send confirmation of your eligibility to write the exam to CAOT. Visit CAOT for information about the exam, including exam resources, fees, and exam policies. The fifth step, after meeting all of the registration requirements and passing the exam, is obtaining your certificate of registration from the college. Once you've paid the registration fee, the college will confirm by email that you're registered and assign you a registration number. With that, you can legally practice as an OT in Ontario. In some cases, if you've met all the registration requirements and are just waiting to write the exam, you may be eligible for provisional registration. That means you can practice, but only with supervision, and for a restricted length of time. The college can tell you if you qualify for provisional registration. Remember, the titles occupational therapist and OT are protected in law. You can face significant penalties for using the titles without being registered with the college. Registration isn't a one-time activity. It is one of several professional obligations that must be maintained throughout your career. Other obligations include maintaining your professional liability insurance, meeting your quality assurance requirements, and more. To learn more about your professional obligations, please visit codo.org. It is the college's job to make sure clients and patients receive safe, effective, and ethical care from OTs. One of the ways we do so is by making sure only OTs who have met certain requirements can practice. For more information on registration for internationally educated professionals, contact the college toll-free at 1-800-890-6570. Email us at registration@codo.org or visit codo.org.